This will be showing the OpenIDM links table and a little bit how it can be used, the purpose of it in the system, and options for using the data as well. We're just going to log into my SQL, and I've changed the default database in OpenIDM as OrientDB. However, that's not suggested to use in a production environment, so the documentation shows how to change it to a MySQL database, and that's what I have done. We'll just change to use the OpenIDM database, and we'll show the tables within that database. You can see that the links table is here, and if I select everything from the links table, I have the information displayed. We've got an object ID, which is the unique identifier for that particular role within OpenIDM. We also have a link type, which is the connector that is used for this particular user, and this first ID is the unique identifier for that particular system that connector is used to connect to. Bob is the unique identifier, and then we have a second ID. The second ID column has a unique purpose in that you can have multiple rows that have the same value, as in the first and second row have the same value. What does that mean? That means that Bob and this full DN for Bob are different users, or used by, they're different connectors, but they're the same user within OpenIDM for that managed user. So the managed user in OpenIDM, being Bob, has a user that was created in MyDB and a user that was created in LDAP accounts using LDAP accounts connector, which happens to be OpenDJ. And if I select the values for all instances where second ID equals that value of the first row, what I get is 3 instances. There's, as you can see, the first ID Bob appears twice, once for MyDB and once for HRDB, and then also the full DN for Bob in OpenDJ, which is the LDAP accounts connector. This table is used by the system for reconciliation so that it can query the table, determine the instances or the external applications associated with this managed user within OpenIDM, and then be able to sync or update each of the systems using those particular connectors to connect to that external database and update the user in those external applications, external databases. And that's how that used. Now there's one other use that I've thought about for this table. If you were doing some reporting or auditing or just information, you could, like we've done here, query this database and say, oh, look at that, we've got 3 instances where we're using Bob, and here's the information in the connectors. Very simply, just be able to have access to that data. Anyway, that's it.